Frankfurt area. As a result, the southern arm of our pincers swung well around the eastern and northeastern flanks of the Ruhr to meet Simpson's advancing columns in the vicinity of Lippstadt, near Paderborn. By April 1st, just 1 week after the 21st Army Group had crossed the Rhine in the Basel sector, the junction was complete. The Ruhr was surrounded, and its garrison was trapped. The Germans had now suffered an unbroken series of major defeats. On April 18th, the whole German garrison in the Ruhr surrendered. Originally, we had estimated we would capture about 150,000 of the German army in the Ruhr. In the final count, the total reached 325,000, including 30 general officers. We destroyed 21 divisions. Hitler must have hoped that the siege of the Ruhr would be as stubbornly contested as was that of Brest. But within 18 days of the moment the Ruhr was surrounded, it had surrendered with an even greater number of prisoners than we had bagged in the final Tunisian collapse almost 2 years earlier.
During the final phase of the battle for Europe, the Nazi soldiers looked less and less formidable. The Wehrmacht, once composed of the pick of German young manhood, now included in its ranks youths who were really still children. Policing the Nazi prisoners had become a more demanding job. Sometimes former inmates of Nazi concentration camps were put in charge of guarding captured Nazi soldiers. The vital industries of the Ruhr, now completely lost to the Nazis, further crippled the badly weakened German war effort. The foundation on which Hitler's plans for world conquest had been built lay hopelessly smashed. With the Allies pushing steadily eastward, General Eisenhower paid a visit to General Patton at Gotha on April 12th, a notable date for the Supreme Commander.
Before the day ended, the scenes I saw etched the date in my memory. General Patton's army had overrun and discovered Nazi treasure, hidden away in a deep salt mine. In one tunnel, they found a hoard of gold estimated to be worth about $250 million, most of it in gold bars. There was also a great amount of minted gold from different countries in Europe, and even from the U.S. The same day, I saw my first horror camp. It was near the town of Gotha. I have never felt able to describe my emotional reactions when I first came face to face with indisputable evidence of Nazi brutality and ruthless disregard of every shred of decency. Up to that time, I had known about it only generally or through secondary sources. I am certain, however, that I have never at any other time experienced an equal sense of shock. I visited every nook and cranny of the camp because I felt it my duty to be in position from then on to testify at first hand about these things in case there ever grew up at home the belief or assumption that the stories of Nazi brutality were just propaganda. I felt that the evidence should be immediately placed before the American and British publics in a fashion that would leave no room for cynical doubt.
With enemy forces in the Ruhr eliminated, the Allied attack to the eastward picked up momentum on all parts of the front. The route, which every Allied soldier kept constantly in mind, lay toward the Baltic Sea and Berlin. The principal attack was a major thrust at the center of the German line by the 12th Army Group under General Bradley's command.
Bradley's advance was conducted on a broad front. On the south, the Third Army struck in the direction of the Czechoslovakian border. On Patton's left, the First Army attack, begun on April 11th, made rapid progress. On April 14th, the 3rd Armored Division of Collins's 7th Corps reached Dessau, practically on the Elbe. This corps, which had been in the original assault against the Normandy beaches, and soon thereafter had captured Cherbourg,